And I just wanted to pick up actually on a point that's been thrown around. Lots of speculation around Man United transfer activity, but I think United fans need a bit of a reality check, really. Talking about buying Enzo Fernandez, his release clause is something in the region of 120 million euros. This is a club who lost out essentially on Gapco because they wanted to, they couldn't afford to pay the money up front. Liverpool paid the money up front with a few minor add-ons. Didn't waste any time. United wanted to do the thing that they do and kind of pay a small amount up front and then sort of 25% every year, which is what they did in the summer. One of the sort of startling statistics now around Manchester United is that they owe 307 million in transfer fees, which is up from 182 million in 2022. Lots of that will be Casemiro, and a huge amount of that will be Anthony. But that's an enormous amount of money. Obviously, just shows the position they're in terms of the cash situation. And probably the most remarkable figure around Manchester United, which probably doesn't get as much discussion as it should. At the end of 2019, Man United had over 300 million in cash reserves. After the summer transfer window, where there was a bit of panic after the first two results, and now their cash reserve is down to 24 million, which is the lowest it's been probably since the Glazers have been here. So they've burnt through nearly 270 million pounds in 3 years. We had COVID, obviously that was a big problem. So United's ability to buy players, unless clubs are willing to take, spread the payments very thinly, is a big problem. And when they're talking about balking over what João Felix would have cost them in loan fees, there's an issue. Generally, United's financial situation is really poor. When you consider that they haven't invested kind of structurally very well, so the net debt has gone from 242 million to 528 million in the space of 8 years. The commercial revenue has flatlined. It's only gone up 9 million in 6 years. In that same period, Liverpool's virtually doubled. Wages were 2022 with 384 million. That's the biggest it's ever been for the Premier League. Partly, obviously, down to the Ronaldo rush transfer again, but not just that. And yes, Ronaldo's off the wage bill, but they'll have had to pay a severance pay, and they're paying him 2 million a month. It's not going to save them a huge amount of money in the short term. Another great indication of how badly things are going at United is pre-tax losses, 150 million for 2022. That's quite a complicated thing because it includes things like the value of players, which you might consider that subjective. But operating loss, which gives you a better indication of sort of day to day, was 85 million. So again, these are bad times for United. And you talk about the investment that's been made. Everyone knows that Old Trafford needs huge investment. The pictures come out virtually day by day in terms of rusting stands and things like that. And contrast that to Liverpool in the last 5 years: 116 million on the new main stand, 75 million on the Anfield Road extension, 50 million on a new training ground. Liverpool's capacity is going to be going up to 61,000 next year. That's another huge opportunity to increase revenue. There's investment. We know what's gone on at City. Newcastle have got a fantastic stadium. That's only going to get expanded. Arsenal have got a great stadium. Spurs have got a great new stadium. All their biggest rivals, probably with the exception of Chelsea, are closing the gap massively in terms of the huge advantage Man United used to have, which was match day revenue and getting people in the stands, and it's sort of gone now. So when you consider they're not in the Champions League, they're going to struggle to get it in again. There is a serious problem. Obviously, you can see why the Glazers are trying to sell now, because they've kind of played all their cards now. They do have I think they have £100 million overdraft, which they're, will give them a bit of wriggle room. But when you're talking about Enzo Fernandez being 120 million, are they really going to just blow the rest of it on one player? when they need a striker. And if Martial got injured today, who's going to play up front? With games coming thick and fast, they've got 2 games a week for the rest of the season, pretty much.